All right, so we're diving deep today into something I think we all deal with at some point,
Definitely.
acidity and constipation,
Mm-hmm.
just kind of everyday discomforts. But, they can really throw a wrench in things.
Oh, absolutely.
And, we got some really interesting stuff from you guys focusing on like miracle water recipes
Yeah. Yeah.
and some lifestyle things we can adjust.
Right.
So our mission is really to break these down,
Yeah,
see how they might actually work for you.
exactly. And I think what we're going to be doing is looking at some very specific remedies that came from the sources
Okay.
and really trying to kind of pull out the principles behind them.
Gotcha.
So that gives us a clearer picture of what might be going on in our bodies.
All right, let's jump right in with the first miracle water. And this one is designed to help with constipation.
Okay. Yeah.
So we're looking at a liter of lukewarm water, a tablespoon of fennel seeds, a teaspoon of either dry ginger powder, or you can use fresh ginger, about a ½ inch crushed up, a teaspoon of chia seeds, and then 2 to 3 dried figs.
Wow, that's a pretty potent concoction.
It's packed with stuff.
Yeah.
So what is the thinking behind this particular combination?
Well, what's interesting is that each ingredient seems to play kind of a unique role.
Okay.
So fennel seeds, for example, they contain this compound called anihole, and that can actually help relax the smooth muscles in your digestive tract.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so it kind of eases things up a little bit. And then you've got ginger, which is really good at stimulating peristalsis.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that. What is that exactly?
So peristalsis is basically like the wave-like contractions that happen in your intestines that move food along.
Oh, so it's like a little nudge from the inside to get things moving.
Exactly, a gentle nudge. And then we
Yeah.
get to the chia seeds and the figs.
Right, fiber.
Yeah, they're bringing the fiber chia seeds are really good because they have that insoluble fiber that adds bulk to your stool.
Okay.
And then figs, they give you fiber, plus they have vitamin B6, which is also really important for healthy bowel movements.
So it's like a multi-pronged approach.
Exactly. And the suggestion is to drink this either before bed or first thing in the morning on an empty stomach to really kind of support that natural elimination process.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Mhm.
So let's move on to the second miracle water.
Mm.
And this one is geared towards acidity relief.
Right?
So for this one, we're using warm water again, but this time we're adding a cinnamon stick, a teaspoon of cumin seeds, 20 milliliters of amla juice, and then a few tulsi leaves and mint leaves.
That sounds soothing already.
Right, it does sound really nice and calming. So let's break down these ingredients.
Very.
What is tulsi exactly?
So tulsi is also known as holy basil,
Okay.
and it's really well known for its ability to help balance the stomach's pH, which is just a measure of acidity.
Right.
And it also has properties that can help soothe any kind of irritation that might be going on in the stomach lining.
Interesting. And then we have the mint leaves. I assume that's for that cooling effect.
Exactly. Mint leaves contain menthol, and menthol is really good at providing that cooling sensation that you associate with mint, and it can also be really helpful for dealing with acidity.
Yeah, that makes sense. And how about the cinnamon and cumin?
So cinnamon is known for its ability to support overall digestion,
Okay.
which can be really helpful for preventing that acid buildup in the first place.
Gotcha.
And then cumin seeds are fantastic for stimulating the production of digestive enzymes, which basically help break down food more efficiently.
Oh, wow. And the almond juice?
Yeah, amla is also known as Indian gooseberry,
Okay.
and it's alkaline in nature, so it can help neutralize that excess stomach acid.
Interesting.
Plus, it's really nourishing, so it's kind of a win-win situation with that ingredient. And this particular water is recommended to infuse for about an hour, and then you can sip it throughout the day for kind of sustained relief.
So you have one to get things moving and one to kind of calm things down. I love that.
Yeah, they're very targeted.
It's really fascinating. Now, the source material also talks about some other practices beyond these water recipes, right?
Absolutely. It emphasizes this really strong connection between your mind and your digestion, which is something that we often overlook.
Definitely.
And one of the techniques that it mentions is called makarasana, which is the crocodile pose. And the idea is to do this before meals.
Okay.
And it can actually help neutralize stomach acid because of the gentle pressure that it puts on your abdomen.
It's amazing how the body can do that.
I know, it's really cool. And then it also talks about mindful eating.
Right. That seems to be a big focus in the source. And it pulls a lot from practices at the Yoga Institute.
Yes, and this is where it gets really insightful. So the source describes eating in a cross-legged position, using your hands to eat, being fully present with your food, actually maintaining silence while you're eating, and approaching the whole meal with a sense of reverence and gratitude.
So it's not just what we eat, it's the whole experience of eating.
Exactly. It's about cultivating that mindful awareness, and the source suggests that this approach can actually significantly improve both digestion and elimination.
Really?
Yeah, by being present and by being appreciative of your food, you're creating this environment that's really supportive of your body's natural digestive processes.
That's incredible. Okay, so to recap, we've got the constipation relief water with fennel, ginger, chia seeds, and figs.
Hmm.
And then the acidity relief water with cinnamon, cumin, amla, tulsi, and mint.
Right.
And we also explored makarasana, the crocodile pose, and the power of mindful eating, really focusing on how we approach our meals.
Yeah, and all of these elements are really aimed at supporting your body's own inherent ability to maintain that digestive balance.
Right, so it's giving you the tools to kind of work with your body.
Exactly. Through specific ingredients and these conscious practices.
I love that. And this gives you, our listener, a whole range of potential tools to explore for your own digestive well-being. And here's a final thought for you to kind of chew on, even without completely overhauling your diet. What if you just incorporated a little more mindfulness into your eating?
Right.
Maybe you take a few quiet moments before you start eating, or you really try to pay attention to the flavors and the textures of your food.
Mm.
How might that subtle shift influence how your body processes your food?
That's a really good question.
That's something to think about.
Definitely.
All right, well, that's all the time we have for today's deep dive.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for listening.
It's been a pleasure.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.